Today, I share how to cook Lumpy Egusi Soup without frying. This is the Lumpy Egusi Soup with bitter leaf recipe. If you want to know how I made this, please watch till the end. Hi my people, my name is Mo. Welcome back. For this recipe, I'll be using chicken as my primary protein, but you can definitely use any protein of your choice. I started by adding my marinated chicken into the pot. To build a solid flavor base, I added some chopped onions, Pomo, seasoning cubes, and a bit of salt to taste. Then I added enough water and gave everything a good stir. Then cover the pot and let it cook until the chicken is tender. If you need a list of ingredients, please check the description box below. While the chicken is cooking, let us prep the pepper mix. For this, I'm using a combination of Atarodo, yellow pepper for that unique aroma and taste, Tatashe, and some onions. I poured everything into my blender to blend. You want to blend it so it is not too smooth and not too rough. You can also use a mortar or a grater to achieve the same texture. And if it is grindstone that you have, you can also use that as well. At this point, the chicken is well cooked and tender. I'm going to remove the chicken pieces and the pomo from the pot and set them aside in a bowl. This prevents the meat from overcooking or breaking apart while we work on the egusi. I also scoop out some of the chicken stock to use later. Then I added a bit more water to the remaining stock in the pot to get the right volume for our soup. Then I cover the pot and allow the liquid to boil. While that is boiling, let us prepare the melon seeds. I'm using dry blended egusi for this. I poured the egusi into a bowl, then added a bit of that hot chicken stock I scooped out earlier. The goal here is to mix it thoroughly until it is completely smooth with no lumps at all. A very important tip: if you don't have hot stock handy, you can use hot water instead. The most important thing is that the liquid must be hot to help activate the egusi. Please do not use cold water for this step. Also, be careful with the quantity. You only need a little bit of the hot liquid to create a thick paste. You don't want to add too much or it will become too watery, and we need it to be firm to get those beautiful lumps. Now that our stock is at rolling boil, it is time to create those lumps. I scoop the egusi paste out with a spoon and drop it gently into the boiling water. As you can see, the paste is very firm. That is exactly what we want. Because the stock is hot and the paste is thick, those lumps are going to start setting immediately instead of dissolving into the liquid. Just a reminder, if you use cold water to mix the egusi, it will simply dissolve as soon as it gets into the boiling stock and you won't get this texture at all. While I finish adding this in, I want to take a quick second to say thank you for being here. If you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people. Also, leave a comment below and let me know where you are watching me from. Your support means the whole world to me. Bitter leaf is our primary vegetable for this recipe, so I'm starting by picking the leaves. As you can see, I'm using fresh bitter leaf today, but you can also use dried or pre-washed bitter leaf if that is what you have available. If you have been avoiding this vegetable because of the taste, keep watching because I'm going to show you exactly how I prepared this so that the soup is not overly bitter. It is all about the preparation to get that perfect balanced flavor. Our egusi has been cooking for about 10 minutes now, and you can see those lumps are formed perfectly. They are firm and quite large. If you prefer smaller ones, just remember to scoop smaller portions into the boiling stock at the start. To layer the flavors, I added some chopped onions and iru for that deep traditional aroma. Then I go in with the smoked catfish, stockfish, pepper mix. I also returned the chicken and pomo we set aside earlier. For that extra kick and depth, I added crayfish, Cameroon pepper, and a bit of Uziza Powder. I added some palm oil as well. I want this version of my egusi soup to be a bit oily, which is why I'm using this much oil. But feel free to adjust to your preference. You can even skip the oil entirely if you want to keep it very light. I added more water to help everything cook together. Then I did a quick taste test to adjust the seasoning and salt. Once that was balanced, I gave it a good stir, covered the pot, and let all those amazing flavors cook for the next 20 minutes. If you are already mouth-watering looking at these lumps, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me know you are enjoying this recipe. And if you are new to the channel, we would love to have you join the family. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more Nigerian recipes. We are all about making traditional meals easier and better, and I am so glad to have you along for this journey. Let's get back to our bitter leaves. Our goal is to reduce the bitterness or remove it entirely, and I'm going to show you the best way I know. I started by adding some salt directly into the bitter leaves. Notice that I haven't added any water yet. It's just the salt and the friction of my hands. I'm going to keep scrubbing until the leaves start to release its natural liquid. Once you see a generous amount of that dark foamy liquid forming, that is when you add a bit of water. Scrub a little more, then sieve that bitter water out. Then we repeat. Scrub the leaves again with your hands until more foam appears. I usually scrub for about 2 minutes each time before rinsing. I repeated this process 5 more times until I was happy with the taste, but you can do it more or less depending on how much bitterness you want to keep. While that is going on, let's talk about your options. If you are using dried bitter leaf, you just need to soak it in hot water to rehydrate it, since they are usually well washed and scrubbed properly before being dried. They are ready to go once they are soft. If you are using the pre-washed version from the market, I still recommend giving it at least 1 or 2 quick scrubs with salt at home. You would be surprised how much bitterness is still in those already washed leaves. I prefer this scrubbing method because it gives you total control over the texture. While boiling can sometimes make the leaves a bit too tender, scrubbing helps keep them in their natural texture. This way, the leaves have a better bite in the soup. Once I'm satisfied with the taste, I give the leaf a final firm squeeze. You want to squeeze out any excess moisture so you don't water down the consistency of your soup. I moved the bitter leaf to my chopping board. The reason I'm chopping this is simply because the strands can be very long and you don't want to be eating long trailing strands of bitter leaf in your soup. It makes it much harder to eat and can be quite messy. By giving it a rough chop, you make sure the vegetables are the perfect size to go down smoothly with every scoop of swallow. Our egusi soup has been cooking for about 20 minutes now. And just look at that. The lumps are still so big and firm, even after all that cooking. Honestly, I realized these lumps are actually a bit too huge. I can't be swallowing these massive pieces, I beg. So I'm taking my spoon to bring them down into more manageable bite-sized chunks. Now that our egusi soup base is perfect, it is time for the greens. I added our prepped bitter leaf first, then give it a thorough mix. I also did a little freezer raid and found some leftover ugu and scent leaves, so I tossed them in as well. These extra vegetables definitely add a lovely depth of flavor and a nice aroma to the soup. Of course, these are completely optional. You can stick strictly to bitter leaf or mix in whatever greens you have on hand like I did. I gave everything a good stir, make it thorough to make sure the vegetables are well distributed. We are just going to cover the pot and let it cook for about 2 more minutes. We want the vegetables to soften and release their flavors, but we definitely don't want to overcook them and lose that freshness. We are almost there. 2 minutes later, and just look at that, our lumpy egusi soup with bitter leaf is officially ready. The aroma in here is unbelievable. You can enjoy the soup with any swallow of your choice, whether it is semo, pounded yam, fufu, amala, or eba. It's going to eat. And you can even enjoy this with hot white rice. If you are looking for the perfect swallow to pair with this, check out my channel for my swallow recipes. Before you go, if you enjoy this boiling egusi method, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you can see more of these authentic recipes. Thank you so much for your support, my people. I will see you in the next one.